At the beginning of the movie, we see a terrified girl named Leah, whose younger sister Alia is pleading for help from inside a room. She peeks through a keyhole, and through it, she witnesses her mother Cantika brutally murdering Alia. Suddenly, Cantika turns toward the door. Frightened, Leah moves away from the door, but suddenly, she hears a knock. Terrified, she looks through the keyhole again, and to her horror, Cantika appears right in front of it. Panicking, Leah quickly hides under the bed, and just then, she hears her mother softly singing a lullaby. The scene then shifts to the Lee's father, who is injured and calling the police. He informs them about the situation and gives their address. Just then, Cantika appears behind him and kills him. Hearing her father's screams, Leah, frightened, quietly opens the door, trying to escape. However, she hears her mother singing the lullaby again and sees her right behind her. At that moment, the police arrive outside. Leah runs out crying for help, but an unseen force pulls her back inside, and the scene cuts abruptly.
Comment. Subscribe to Recapss Horror.
The scene then shifts to a mental hospital, where we are introduced to Dr. Olivia. A nurse walks in, carrying files of 2 patients, Jamal and Cantika. Olivia asks her to bring Jamal in first. As Jamal enters, he keeps staring at Cantika. Suddenly, he begins hearing whispers and grows visibly uneasy. It's Cantika whispering into his ears. Olivia asks him, what's bothering him? And Jamal nervously says, I'm not a killer. Please forgive me, she asks. Killer of who? Crying, he says. I'm not a mother killer. As Cantika continues whispering, Jamal screams, I'm not a mother killer. Olivia tries to calm him down, but eventually calls the nurse, instructing her to take him to a special room for further evaluation later. As he's taken away, Jamal keeps repeating that he's not a killer, while Cantika is seen smiling eerily. Moments later, a police officer named Rendy meets Olivia. He tells her he's here regarding a case. The woman with him, Cantika, slaughtered her entire family 3 days ago. According to his team's investigation, she seems to have a mental disorder. That's why he brought her here, to find out whether her actions were caused by a psychological condition or something else entirely. The scene cuts to Cantika as her blindfold is removed. Olivia begins her assessment, introducing herself and asking if Cantika knows why she's here and whether she feels comfortable. Cantika remains silent, then suddenly starts singing a lullaby. Olivia asks, what song is this? Does it remind you of something? Is it the one you sang to your children? But Cantika keeps singing, ignoring the questions. Olivia then asks her to describe her relationship with her child. Cantika repeats her question in an eerie tone and keeps repeating it, growing increasingly aggressive until she starts yelling. Frightened, Olivia quickly leaves the room and tells Rendy that she's not the right person to handle this case. He asks what happened inside, and Olivia replies that she couldn't determine Cantika's exact disorder, but her behavior was extremely aggressive. In her professional opinion, Cantika isn't pretending. She truly believes what she's experiencing. Olivia says she'll refer her to another specialist for further evaluation. Rendy then hands her a file containing all the information from Cantika's case and requests that she review it so they can discuss it the next day. That night, Olivia is at home, reading Cantika's file. She finds a family photograph of Cantika in it, which makes her uneasy. She then heads to the refrigerator to grab a bottle of wine, and behind her, Cantika's ghost is seen sitting on the kitchen counter. It vanishes as Olivia picks up the garbage bag. Placing the wine bottle on the table, Olivia goes to take out the trash when she suddenly hears Cantika's lullaby echoing. The sound seems to come from the elevator. She checks, but no one is there. The scene then cuts to Olivia, pouring herself a drink and relaxing when she hears a child's voice say, "Mom, open the door, please." She opens the door and finds no one outside. But when she returns, she sees Cantika sitting on her chair in demonic form, eerily smiling while holding Olivia's wine glass. She gets up, smiles, and asks Olivia, "How is your relationship with your child?" Olivia panics and runs as Cantika throws the glass at her, which shatters, revealing it was all a nightmare. The next morning, Olivia meets another patient named Jane. She asks how Jane is feeling, and Jane says she's never felt better. Olivia tells her that means she's ready to move to the general ward. We then see Nurse Uni wheeling Jane to the ward when another nurse calls Uni away, saying there's something urgent to handle. Uni assures Jane she'll be right back and leaves her alone. Just then, Jane notices that the room opposite hers belongs to Cantika. Suddenly, Cantika comes near the door and whispers, "You will be dead." Then, she appears right beside Jane, haunting her. Terrified, Jane tries to escape but can't walk, so she crawls into another room and locks the door, only for Cantika to appear inside it. Jane screams as Cantika haunts her, and her cries echo through the corridor. The next day, a senior doctor confronts Olivia, accusing her of misdiagnosing Jane. Olivia insists that Jane was stable and ready for transfer, but he cuts her off, asking who will take responsibility for what happened. He reminds her that this isn't the first strange incident. 2 patients under her care, Jamal and Jane, have now been involved in bizarre events. Despite being one of the hospital's top specialists, he warns her that she'll receive a memorandum and must act more responsibly. He then adds that she has one chance to redeem herself by handling Candika's case properly. Olivia then goes outside and finds Rendy there. She asks him for more details about Cantika. He suggests they talk elsewhere, and the two meet at a cafe. Olivia asks, "So Cantika victims are her husband and her daughters? Leah and Alia?" Rendy nods. Olivia asks, "And how are they doing now?" Rendy leans closer and tells her something in secret. Olivia asks why it's confidential. He explains that he's been following this type of case for a long time, even before it happened to Cantika. There's a pattern, a series of similar cases where each killer was triggered by something unknown. Olivia asks if he means Cantika is also a victim. Rendy replies that he is not sure, but the circumstances match other cases. Every one of them had the same symptoms, the same madness. She asks how she can help, and he tells her to observe Candika's every word and movement, to find the connection, to discover why she did what she did. He explains that Cantika is the only survivor after the family's murder. In all previous cases, everyone died. He says he needs to know whether it's truly mental illness, or Olivia scoffs and says, "Possession? Do you realize I'm a psychiatrist, not a psychic? Ghosts don't exist," Rendy says. "Then prove it. Diagnose her mental disorder and tell me what it is." Olivia agrees, but warns that she doesn't want his interference during her evaluation. He nods in agreement. The next day, Olivia visits Cantika again for her assessment. She asks how Cantika is feeling today. Cantika smiles and begins singing the same lullaby. Olivia notes that she's singing the same song again and asks what it means, but Cantika keeps singing. Olivia then says she needs to explore Candika's feelings and thoughts more deeply and gently, asks if she can tell her what happened to her and her family. Hearing this, Cantika suddenly becomes furious. She sticks out her tongue eerily and bites it off, blood pouring onto the floor. She then begins drawing a strange symbol on the floor using the blood that had spilled and her foot. Terrified, Olivia calls for help, and the staff rush in and try to restrain Cantika. The scene then cuts to Olivia, sitting alone outside, when Rendy joins her. He points out that during both of Olivia's sessions with Cantika, she was triggered every time her family was mentioned. Olivia agrees, and mentions that she saw Cantika draw a symbol with her foot on the floor. Rendy suggests that if they can identify the symbol, they might understand Candika's motive. Before leaving, he hands Olivia a voice recorder, explaining that he had placed it in Candika's room and in the observation room as a precaution. He tells her to listen to it later. It might help her analyze things more clearly once she's calm. Later, we see Rendy at home, studying photos of cases similar to Candika's. He tries to find a connection between them, and eventually traces a recurring symbol from the crime scene photos, realizing something significant. He then watches CCTV footage of Cantika in her hospital room. The scene shifts to Olivia at her home. Rendy has sent her few CCTV clips and asked her to analyze Candika's behavior. As she reviews the footage, Cantika is seen walking around her room before suddenly walking up close to the camera and smiling, startling Olivia. Frightened, Olivia quickly shuts her laptop and goes to her room. Moments later, she hears the recording of her conversation with Cantika playing somewhere in the house. When she comes out, she sees the audio recorder has turned on by itself. Suddenly, a lullaby starts playing from it. Panicking, she throws it aside in fear and rushes out. Just then, the lullaby begins playing from the recorder again. The scene then cuts to Cantika in her hospital room, singing the same lullaby. She looks directly at the camera, smiles eerily, and then stops. Meanwhile, Nurse Uni is making her nightly rounds, checking if the patients are asleep. Hearing the song coming from Candika's room, she asks if everything is all right. Cantika says, "Help me," and then quietly laughs. She repeats, "Help me." Open the door, smiling again. Uni tells her to rest and turns to leave. But Cantika suddenly yells angrily, "Open the door!" Uni freezes as the lights begin to flicker. When she turns around, Cantika is standing right in front of her. Terrified, Uni runs down the corridor with Cantika chasing after her. She trips and falls, crying for help, and a loud scream echoes through the hallway. The next morning, while Olivia is still asleep, she receives a call from the hospital. She says she'll be there shortly. As she gets ready to leave, she notices the audio recorder lying on the floor. When she picks it up and plays it, she is shocked to hear the recording of last night's conversation between Cantika and Uni. At the hospital, Olivia checks the CCTV footage and tells Rendy that the events from last night were somehow recorded on the device he gave her. Rendy listens to the audio and compares it with the footage. He then asks her if she realizes that everything seems to be connected to Cantika, Jamal, Jane, and now Uni. Everyone who was physically close to Cantika started behaving irrationally, as if consumed by fear. Olivia asks, "Are you suggesting this is black magic?" Rendy counters, "A mental disorder can't get recorded in a device." Olivia then questions, "If everyone who comes in contact with Cantika is getting affected, why haven't we been affected yet?" Rendy replies that maybe Cantika wants to play with them, though he isn't sure. He then reveals that he found the similar symbol she mentioned. It appears at every location tied to the recent killings and suicides. Each suspect in those cases also took their own life at the scene, leaving no one alive to interrogate. Olivia comments that Cantika did the same. She slaughtered her loved ones, but unlike the others, she didn't kill herself. Rendy concludes that this case goes far beyond mental illness. He says he should have taken her to an exorcist so there wouldn't be more victims. Olivia insists that Candika's condition is purely psychological. She tells him she can still help solve this case. At that moment, Olivia's superior arrives and urges her to resolve the case as soon as possible. Olivia agrees, and her senior leaves. The scene then shifts to Rendy and Olivia interrogating Cantika. Olivia asks Rendy to untie Candika's hands and feet, saying she wants her to feel comfortable and open to conversation. Rendy frees her restraints. Olivia gently asks how she's feeling. Cantika smirks and stands up, replying, "You mean, how do I feel after everything that happened?" Olivia asks what really happened. Cantika smirks and says, "Let's get to the point, doctor. You want to know why I killed my entire family?" She warns them to stay away, laughs and taunts Rendy to shoot her. When Olivia shows her photos of Candika's husband and daughter, Alia's dead body, asking if she did it consciously, Cantika replies, "Maybe you should explain what happened in that photo." Olivia looks down to see the image change into her own husband and daughter's bodies. Furious, she attacks Cantika and slaps her, who laughs, saying, "Slap me!" We're the same Olivia before licking her hand. Rendy pulls Olivia away as the attendants restrain Cantika. Outside the hospital, Olivia tells Rendy she wants to visit Candika's house. Rendy suggests they go tomorrow, but she insists on going immediately. They arrive at Candika's home and look around. Seeing family photos, Olivia asks, "How could a mother do this?" Rendy replies, "That's what we need to find out, her reason." While searching, he finds Candika's diary and calls Olivia over. Olivia reads it and finds loving entries about Candika's husband and daughter. Confused, she wonders aloud why Cantika would murder her family when she clearly adored them. Suddenly, Olivia hears a little girl's voice calling, "Mom!" "I miss you, Mom." Following the voice, she opens a door and sees herself holding her dying daughter Marcia in her arms. She breaks down in tears, then turns to see her husband's lifeless, bloodied body. Sobbing, she embraces him until Rendy calls out her name, snapping her out of the vision. Shaken, Olivia leaves the house. Later, Rendy tries to connect the dots, recalling Chandika's words, "We are the same." He then discovers a newspaper clipping that reads, "Dr. Olivia, a specialist, lost her entire family." The killer, believed to have a mental disorder, was found dead. The next day, Olivia and Rendy meet at a bar. Olivia insists that he shouldn't transfer Cantika, believing she can still be healed. She says she's carrying an old wound that hasn't healed yet. Many people with deep trauma recover with the right help. Rendy asks, "What about you? Are you healed? Have you healed from losing your husband and daughter?" Olivia asks why he's bringing up her past, but he continues, "Reka, your husband Rico's younger brother. Why did he slaughter your family?" Reluctantly, Olivia opens up. She explains that Raka never supported her marriage to Rico and always tried to separate them, especially since she and Rico married because she became pregnant first. Over time, Raka grew to love Marcia, her daughter, but resented Olivia. He believed Marcia and Rico needed a devoted homemaker, not a career woman who was always busy with her patients. Rendy listens and says he's now certain Chandika's case is somehow linked to Olivia's. "This is beyond us," he says firmly. "Starting tomorrow, I'll arrange Chandika's transfer." Olivia pleads that Chandika can still be cured, but Rendy insists that these events are the work of dark forces. Every victim has killed someone they love, and logic can't explain that. Olivia argues that she has a definite way to help Chandika. "Beautiful memories can heal," she says. "They can come from a photo, a video, or anything that carries a happy memory. In psychology, we call it the healing power of beautiful memories. Take me, for example. I was shattered for years, but I got back up because of those memories. Without them, I'd be lost." She begs him to let her try one more session with Chandika. Rendy sighs and asks, "What do we even have to remind her of?" The scene cuts to Chandika as her blindfold is removed. She starts laughing while Olivia sits in front of her. Olivia says she wants to talk to whoever is inside her. Chandika laughs mockingly. Olivia asks if she remembers what it feels like to be a mother. She says gently, "I know you're in pain," but Cantika keeps laughing. Olivia reminds her of her children and her days as a mother, saying she'll never feel that again because she betrayed them. "I know the pain of loss, Cantika," Olivia adds. "I felt it too." Cantika screams, "Stupid doctor! Is this how you heal people?" Olivia calmly replies, "I'm talking to you, Cantika, because I care about you. I know you can hear me." Cantika laughs and shouts, "Care? You think you care about her? She's broken because of you," Olivia says. "This wound will never fully heal, but you can still go on." Cantika yells, "You and we're the same," Olivia urges. "Don't give in, Cantika. You're a mother. That makes you stronger than the demon inside you." Cantika stops laughing, her tone shifting. "So now you believe in me?" she says before bursting into manic laughter again. Olivia continues softly, "Cantika, remember your daughters. Remember carrying them for 9 months?" Chandika's expression suddenly changes. "My children," she whispers. Olivia leans in. "Can you hear me, Cantika?" Cantika begins crying. "What have I done?" she sobs, calling out her daughters' names, Leah and Alia. Then suddenly she whispers, "Doctor, your friend?" The scene cuts to Rendy at Chandika's home, taking her diary. Suddenly, he hears a demonic laugh and sees the demon standing behind him. "What do you want?" he asks. The demon grins eerily and replies, "Your friend, she will come with me." She smiles eerily and vanishes.
You're still watching? Good. Like, comment, and subscribe to Recapss Horror.
Back at the hospital, Chandika's body begins to convulse, and she suddenly transforms into a demon, singing the lullaby Olivia once sang to her own daughter. "Stop it. That's my song, not yours," Olivia screams, covering her ears, but the demon keeps singing. It frees its hands, rises from the chair, and levitates in the air. Terrified, Olivia watches as the lights flicker violently. "Who are you?" she asks. The demon roars. "I am the messenger of the devil." Olivia runs out in terror as helpers rush into the room. Their screams echo as the demon kills them. We then see Rendy arrives at the hospital, just as Olivia calls to him from behind. To his shock, another Olivia calls to him from the opposite side. Both insist they're real, begging him to believe them. Confused, Rendy says, "The real Olivia will know what we found in Chandika's house." One says, "Her diary." The other insists, "I'm the real one." Rendy points his gun at her. The first Olivia calls out, "Remember, she just wants Leah?" Revealing that Leah is still alive, the secret Rendy had shared with Olivia at the cafe. The other Olivia pleads desperately that she's real. But this time, the pleading one is truly Olivia. The demon taunts, "Stupid police." Rendy turns and the demon attacks him. Olivia manages to grab him and drag him away, locking them both inside her cabin. Catching his breath, Rendy reveals they never finished reading Chandika's diary. He says, "I read it later. She wrote that she was slowly losing herself. Every day her consciousness was slipping. Hallucinations, terrors, losing control. She tried to hold on to sweet memories and poured them into that diary while she still could. It now becomes clear that, after meeting Chandika, Olivia has begun experiencing the same symptoms described in Chandika's diary. Chandika had written, 'The voices have started to haunt me. I can no longer sleep in peace. My life feels unbearable. My emotions are slipping out of control. A hunger for violence teases me every day. The world no longer looks the same through my eyes. I can't tell what's real and what's not. It all began the moment I looked at the symbol that turned me into a devil.'" Rendy then hands Olivia a piece of paper. She asks, "What is this?" He says, "Keep it. You'll know," he warns her. The symbol represents the presence of the devil. "Let's go. I'll distract Chandika. You run." Olivia insists they leave together, but Rendy firmly tells her to go and end this. They step out of the cabin. Rendy pushes Olivia to run just as Chandika attacks him, sitting on him and strangling him. Horrified by the sight, Olivia runs and steps out into the corridor and quickly locks the door behind her, feeling a momentary relief until the demon appears on the other side of the door. Deeply devastated, Olivia sits and the demon sits too. It says, "Hello, Olivia. I want to have a discussion with you. How are you feeling?" The demon mocks Olivia by repeating the same questions she once asked Chandika, dredging up her trauma of losing her family. "Do you remember how it feels to be a mother?" it asks. "Do you remember Marcia? She's waiting for you." Then the demon begins singing the song Olivia used to sing to Marcia. Enraged and desperate, Olivia grabs a pair of scissors, bursts through the door, and stabs the demon, only to realize she has actually stabbed Rendy. The demon had tricked her. Overwhelmed with grief, Olivia collapses in tears. The scene then shifts to a doctor's cabin. Dr. Nabila introduces herself gently. "I'm the doctor who will be with you while you're here. You can tell me anything. I want to know about your family." Then it's revealed that Olivia is the patient. She begins singing the song she used to sing for Marcia. Nabila asks softly, "May I know the relationship between you and your child?" Olivia keeps singing. Nabila then asks her, what is she meant to do with this paper, and shows her the piece of paper Rendy gave her, which reads, "Sabda Medica Hospital, room 505. Suddenly, Olivia leans toward Nabila, startling her, and whispers, "She will come." The scene cuts to Sabda Medica Hospital, room 505, where Leah is admitted. Her eyes suddenly open, hinting at a visit from the demon, marking the end of the movie. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the chills, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a scare. Until next time, stay spooky.